All right, welcome back, Pokemon Go players, to another episode of the Purified podcast. Today is June 20th, 2021. I am your host, Luis Palacios, with my co-host, Chris.
Hey, it's your boy, Pokemon Trigger, please. How you guys doing?
Doing all right. How's it going, my good man?
It's been a good day, Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Well, we're recording this on Father's Day. I don't know when you guys will be listening to it, but thank you very much for being a father.
Thank you very much for being a father. Yes, thank you very much for, being a father. But yeah, no, we are recording on Father's Day. So yes, congratulations to all the fathers. Happy Father's Day once again. We're going to probably repeat that throughout the podcast. But anyways. However, yes, so we are here once again to talk about Pokemon Go news, updates, and ranting about the game because we love the game just as much as you do. Make sure that we don't forget to remind everybody that we are part of the Professor Network. Please check us out at professornetwork.com/Purified Podcast. Wonderful people to work with every single time, have their own podcasts too. Just wonderful people are around. I know Ken is always crazy, but you know. All right.
Man is insane.
Indeed. All right, so let's shift the gears and recap what have we gotten this week. What you got there, Chris?
Let me see. I don't remember. Shiny. I'm a 4-star. Let us see. Okay. More eventful than last week. I got more than one shiny. I got 4 shinies this week. I got a new shiny, shiny Pidove, and I got a shiny Yanma. And then from Regigigas raids, I was able to snag 2 shiny Regigigas.
Nice.
I think I did maybe 5 raids, maybe 6. So I think I did pretty well. Not a lot of extra large candy. Yeah, I only got 25 extra large candy. So I didn't go ham. But definitely excited to get that. I might put one in home. But no hundos. No hundos this week.
No hundos.
Never.
I done so far around, I want to say 16 Regigiga raids. Is this the new ones? Yes, because this one's an old one, if I remember correctly. So yeah, 16. I got 1 shiny. And actually, that's the only highlight that I have this week for you guys, because that's the only shiny that I got this week at all.
No hundos?
No hundos. First time in a while that I actually don't have any hundos to report. Okay.
Excuse me?
Well, to be told, there wasn't any much incentive to actually go out and hunt this last week, for me at least. Mostly because I had a day off of work, or not a day off, a week off of work. That I've been taking my time to relax and do everything else that I wanted to do. Although I pretty much didn't do anything this week because, that's my lazy butt. However, yes, I did go out and restock a few times, but nothing really to report that I wanted to really hunt or really wanted to get for a hundo. So, yeah, I basically was just huntless this week for some reason. So, oh well, it is what it is, Yeah. You're going to have days like this, things like that. I also been having a fight, a huge tooth pain, and it's just been keeping up at night, and it's just been like, I've been kind of like on the downside from doing all that because I just can't seem to get out of the bed most of the time. So I am fine. I will be looking to go to the dentist tomorrow and see if I can get anything fixed there because it is kind of bothering me all week.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, man.
It is what it is, as long as I'm here alive and working and playing the game, because we love the game. Also, remind me that I gotta go to a Pokestop before the end of the night because I completely forgot that I have to do that. Haven't left the house.
I got you.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it on the recaps. I know there hasn't been too much to say, but we do have quite a bit of news. Some past news, some recent news, some news that we forgot to talk about last podcast because I was forgetting about it completely. But the first thing we're going to talk about is the Solstice event. Now, we did mention last week that we were supposed to get some news before it actually started. Well, lo and behold, we got the news, and it's ending. Actually, it ended 5 minutes as of this recording around 8 p.m. local time. So We'll go around some of the news sections for that, but we're not going to dive too much into it because we're already going to give us our thoughts of how the event went. However, the first thing that the Solstice events was going to give us is a brand new surprise. The Regigigas, it's now back in raids for the very first time after EX raids was announced, so close to almost 2 years at this point. But yes, Regigigas is here, just like we mentioned. We have our Shinies release. Written, I don't understand. I think we kind of skipped that before we actually say that we got the shinies, because we did get the shinies. So that's pretty cool. Again, this is a mythical Pokemon that we have not seen since, forever. And at the same time, getting to actually shiny hunted is something. Now, Regigigas will actually be in raids all the way until, I believe, July 1st. So we do have until the end of the month, at the beginning of next month, to actually hunt it down. So it started on June 17, and of course it's ending, at least the Regigigas race will be ending on July 1st. And then of course you also have raids, related field research also available at the Pokestops, exclusive during this window. Again, we're not going to be talking about those because again, it was just other things that we were going to be mentioned. The Solstice events was basically the ability to see some Pokemons that we don't see in regional places like Lunatone, Solrock in the wild, and things like Snorlax was spawning, which was actually pretty cool and all that stuff. Real quick, I do want to say hi to the chat. Thank you, Peppercup, once again joining us. Pokemon Newbie, thank you very much for coming around. We appreciate all you guys coming here. Again, we're talking about Pokemon good news and updates, so that's what we are here for. Of course, we do have some differentiations to see in the Northern Hemisphere and the Southern Hemisphere. We had in our region, in the Northern Hemisphere, we had things like Yamna, Chimchar, Summerford Deerling, and more. And of course, if you find a shiny Yamna, but we already knew that. In the Southern Hemisphere, we had things like Snorunt, Snovent, Winterform Deerling, and all those ones. In raids, we had a lot of Marowak, Yamna, Pepitil, and more. And Pokemon in the raids for us in the Southern Hemisphere, we had Lapras, Spinoswat, Snorunt, and more. In the raids around the world, we had Lunatone, Solrock, Link, and more. And then, of course, some event-exclusive field research for it, and a few snapshot surprises. Once this event ends, though, Lunatone will be appearing exclusively in the Eastern Hemisphere, while Solrock will be appearing exclusively in the Western Hemisphere. So we are in the Eastern Hemisphere?
Shouldn't we be in the Western?
I think so. I don't remember.
I guess we could check the nearby, right?
Well, the nearby...
Yeah, we should be the Western.
Yeah. All right. So, yes. So, Lunatone, at least for us, have been a shiny that I've been wanting to get for a while, and unfortunately, of course, it's not possible now again. We did have the bonus of having the walking distance requirements for Earnhardt with your body halved instead of like the regular normal one. So it appears yeah. You didn't know that?
No wonder I was actually hitting 3. Oh my gosh.
It's like I only walk in 3 kilometers. I finally got my 3 hearts, I
was so confused.
But yeah, so in all cases, this event was okay. How do you rate this event here, Chris, now that we actually experienced the full event on its formality?
I will say the spawns were superb. I know a lot of us were really impressed with the amount of Snorlax spawns.
Oh, yeah.
It's always cool to find him. Other than that, I don't know. It wasn't a bad event, but I'd probably give it like a 7 at the highest.
Okay.
Not because it necessarily did anything wrong, but I know a lot of people are turned off by, an event that is almost centered around, like Regigigas being in raids. So you gotta raid it. Spend all your money to get the shiny. A lot of times, I know people get it on the first raid. Get that Pokemon entry shiny, but the majority of people are going to have to do, 10, 15 raids. Other than that, I do like Lunatone and Solrock. They did a good job of putting it both in the wild for everybody. instead of it just being one on one side, one on the other. I do appreciate that.
Yes, yes. I think that's the best highlight out of the Solstice event for sure. Just like you mentioned, having Regigigas is cool and all, but just the instead of having to rate it for the shiny has been abysmal for a lot of people for sure. It's not the easiest raid to take down either. You need at least 5 or plus people unless you have good counters on every single one of them. But yeah, it's one of those things. The Pokemons, again, nothing to snuff about really. Again, Pokemons for us were like Yamna, Chimchar, Summerford, Deerling. Snorlax was nice, of course, but after that, I wasn't really incentive to me go out and be like, hey, I need a hundo of this, or hey, I need a shiny of this, because most of them already got them. And yeah, things like that. It's just one of those things. So I kind of want to give it the same rating as you, 7 out of 10. I won't go any higher than that because there's no new shinies aside from Regigigas. There's no new real Pokemons that we want to hunt for. And I think that the event like this is just to ease us into the summer, since it's actually also, I believe it's the first day of summer now. Could be the first one in the next few days, but anyways.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that was the event, the Solstice event. Again, we unfortunately did not get the news before the actual event ended, so tough luck on that. Let's go ahead and start our research topics, the news that we are going to talk about. Now, before we do begin the first full set of updates and news we're going to be talking about, there is one thing that I forgot to mention, and this was because I completely forgot to check Niantic's Twitter account. And that is Niantic's actual blog posts. And this is all about... Let me see if I can find it here. Where are you? I know you're here. Blog post, come on. I'm gonna have to go to the actual website. Hold on just a second, everybody. Blog post. Okay, so yeah, we know about that. National Get Out. Okay, so this is actually something that we completely forgot to mention, and this was actually around June 10 that they announced it. It says, meet you at our live events. So, greetings, Niantic Explorers. So this is actually applying for every single one of the players, not just Pokemon Go, like Wizards Unite and other things. As John shared last month, we're looking forward to saying hello to our community in our world again. Today, we are excited to announce that we're starting to bring back some of our live events for Pokemon Go, Harry Potter, and Ingress. Bringing people together in a Niantic's mission and our one in-person and virtual events are a magical opportunity for people to play together. So, what's to expect in the next few months? Well, for us, it's the community days. For Pokemon Go, we have Saturday, July 3rd. We do have Community Day and the date announcement for that, but we don't have the full details of what Pokemon is going to be or until that. And then for August Community Day, we do have another date. It's like August 15. So at least we know we can plan the days ahead for Community Days, and we know when are we going to be ready for that. I actually, I think I may have to work that July 3rd, I believe. I don't remember. Anyways.
Yeah, it's always on and off for me.
Yeah.
Never know.
Yeah, definitely. So we're also looking to, play Pokemon Go Fest and things like that that we already know about. And they're also excited to offer some new stuff. Specifically, Safari Zones. Now, if you guys don't know, we did have to have 3 Safari Zones last year, which were Philadelphia, Liverpool, and England, and then San Luis. I don't remember the states, but I know it's in San Luis in the States. However, all of those, of course, got canceled because of, not really canceled, more like rescheduled. But again, they were somewhat canceled in the sense that we never had the chance to go out to those places. But we have the information that they're excited to share that they're planning in another way to reschedule the Pokemon Go Safari Zones that were postponed last year. We'll share more details in these events as plans are confirmed, but here are the 3 cities, of course, anticipating the Safari Zones to return, which I already mentioned the cities. But of course, I was bummed that I couldn't ever go to Philadelphia to play the first Safari Zone. I did have the medal, I did have the tickets ready, I was all ready to go, but of course, it all went to nothing. So hopefully, once I actually get the news, and I hope that it's going to be this year, we're gonna be able to actually go to those specific events. But are you excited to finally
maybe see you guys?
I know, right? Finally able to see you guys on all this, But I hope that you guys can, get there because we want to be part of this. We want to be going back to our normal lives of going out, playing with people, things like that. So what do you think, Chris?
I think one of my biggest I don't know, letdowns of Philly not happening was that there was going to be a giant mega tournament there, and I was looking super forward to meeting a lot of people and battling a lot of people there. But
Definitely.
yeah, all I can say is hopefully they give us plenty of time to get ready. Get the plane tickets, get over there. I'm talking at least like 6 months. To get everything planned out, but you never know.
Well, 6 months from now will basically be next year.
Yes, that's fine with me.
Well, I actually kind of want to agree on that. Last time we did have some pretty good timing before we actually were supposed to get our tickets and everything. So I was already planning to go through the whole Safari Zones back then. I hope that I can do it again this year or by next year if that's the case. In all sense, I feel like most of the events are already done for. GoFest is technically the biggest last one that we have. But again, it's just going to depend on how Niantic is going to really reschedule those days for us and how they're going to fare out. Because technically, they were postponed for everybody who were supposed to have the tickets for it because most of the tickets went live before the pandemic started. But instead of by being postponed, we still have the chance to go and play the event on those days specifically. But we also had, the whatever you are play kind of thing. So if you had the ticket and you purchased the ticket, instead of having it refunded, you can keep it, have the chance to go to the next Safari Zone once live events are back up again. But also you had the events on your own home if you wanted to just go out and play yourself. Even though, you were supposed to quarantine most of the time. But, so I hope that maybe they amp up to the event a little bit more than what we expect from last year. But we'll see how that will go.
Yeah, I mean, people are already planning get-togethers at the different areas. Don't believe we've had any times like even remotely looked at, but I've seen a lot of people, already getting ready for get-togethers, which has me a little bit confused.
Yeah, but, it's just one of those things. I guess people are just really, really want to go out there and get to that point, But I think they're just...
Yeah, it's been so long.
They're preparing like okay, if I'm going to go to, let's say, Philly, maybe I'll hook up with the Lura podcast. Ken actually live in Philly, so I'm like, can you spare a room, maybe 2? See how it goes,
Maybe he had a word in that. No, I'm joking.
We'll see. I'll talk to him eventually, So, but yeah, I am hopeful that sooner rather than later we'll actually be getting some of the news, and hopefully we'll be able to plan out the events in the coming weeks or in the coming months, actually. So we'll see how it goes. It is what it is. All right, so now let's get into the next piece of news for this week, and that is the Two Front Teeth event that Chris is already mentioning and looking at right now. And that is the Bidoof breakout. What do we have here today?
Finally. Overtime Lovin's mascot right here. Very cool shiny. I know a lot of us wanted it when they were doing that photo event like a year ago. We've really expected that. Like I know every single one I clicked on, I was like, one of these is going to be shiny. It's going to happen.
Well, it didn't back then, but now we do. We're going to have a full event of all Bidoof. And by I mean all Bidoof, I mean all Bidoof. So the Bidoof are coming, and we have no idea where they're coming from or what their aim is. During this Bidoof breakout event starting on Friday, June 25th, 2021, Bidoof will be appearing more often in the wild. They might know attacks that they can normally learn. and Shiny Bidoof will be making its Pokemon Go debut for the very first time. How many Bidoof will you catch? When will it end? And good luck, and you're gonna need it for sure. So again, the event starts on June 25th and ends on July 1st. So it's only like a 5-day event kind of thing, 5 or 6 day event. So it's not that bad. The features, of course, will be that Bidoof will be appearing all over the place, in raids, in encounters, and even event exclusive field research. We know the shiny will be available, and then of course the rate on which Bidoof will be appearing in the wild will increase over the course of the event. On certain days of the event, Bidoof you encounter will know the attacks normally cannot learn. On Thursday, July 1st, from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. local time, you can use a charge CM to teach Bidoof any of these attacks. After the event, you can only use a lead charge CM to do the same. During each of the times listed below, you can encounter Bidoof that knows the following attacks. Shadow Ball from Friday, June 25th to Saturday, June 26th. Thunderbolts from Sunday, June 27th to Monday, June 28th. And Ice Beam from Tuesday, June 29th to Wednesday, June 30th. And then, of course, if you evolve Bidoof anytime during the event, you get a Bibarel that knows the move Hyper Beam. Tingle Rocket will also have plans to catch on Bidoof Breakout, and of course will turn some into Shadow Pokemons. Time to send it to Bidoofs, I guess. And then you'll be able to get Bidoof's gift stickers, spinning Pokestops, and opening gifts.
Yo! We gotta send those to Gabe.
Somebody actually mentioned that this is actually mimicking Mewtwo for some reason.
I can believe it. Those are legit Mewtwo's moveset, right?
Yeah. Shadow Ball, Thunderbolt, and Ice Beam, yeah. Interesting, right?
Yeah, we're just missing Flamethrower.
So the other bonuses... Yeah, I know, right?
That is a good point, Paper Cut. If you give it a second move, like if it has Shadow Ball and then you give it a second move and then charge TM it the next day, I wonder if that will be possible.
I don't know. We'll have to try when the event starts, of course.
Yeah, it's only 10,000 Stardust, so gonna be an easy test.
Gotta get my Honda ready, that's for sure.
Ooh. Hyper Beam. Ooh.
Indeed. So the bonuses are, of course, that on certain days throughout the week, different in-game bonuses will be available. So we have 2 times cash experience from Friday, June 25th to Saturday, June 26th. We got 3 times cash experience from Sunday, June 27th to Monday, June 28th. And then we have 4 times cash experience from Tuesday, June 29th to Wednesday, June 30th. Keep an eye on more details of what's to come with Bidoof-wise on Monday, June 28th, which is actually a few days, actually 8 days from now, I guess. Ready to note, wait, what? Keep an eye out for more details on what's to come Bidoof-wise on Monday, June 28th. Okay.
What?
That's interesting. Bidoofs are coming, it's an inevitable fact and an inevitable truth, and we must prepare. So they did mention that the rate that will appear will actually increase depending in. So at first maybe you'll see like maybe 4 or 5 at a time, and then you'll see maybe 10 at a time or things like that. Well, no, exactly. I mean, I already have a Bidoof here in my house, and I don't know why it's here. But fitting that we're talking about Bidoof, and of course the Bidoof comes in. But that is the inevitable truth on that, and it ran away. Okay, Bidoof, I didn't want you anyway. All right, so what do you think of this event, Chris? What makes you want to really play it out, I guess?
I mean, it's got to be that shiny, right? But it is kind of crazy. I think this is like the first time we've seen them increase the amount of Pokemon throughout the event. I think a lot of times for a lot of us, it feels like the first few days have the most Pokemon almost, or in the middle, and then at the end it's like here's some here and there, you know? Mm-hmm. It feels like it's kind of decreased at the end. So I'm very interested to see what that actually means for this. And also, who's gonna keep one of each Bidoof? I think I'm only gonna try keeping one, because right off the top of my head, I'm thinking this thing might actually be good for Elemental Cup. You know, with Thunderbolt, that's a pretty darn good Ducklet counter.
Well, you can't
With
use
Ice Beam, he can take out the grass.
you cannot use Bidoof because he's a normal type.
You can't use what?
An element.
Well, he's got water though.
No, you can only use the typing.
No, you're right. You're right. Oh no.
You can only use the water, fire, and grass types on the.
He's useless.
Yes, he's useless. But you never know. There's always a meta for Pokemons like this, especially Pokemons that have different types of moves. It's gonna be depending on how you're gonna use it. Now they do mention the Bidoof are gonna have these moves. We don't know if Barbarrel is gonna have the moves after you evolve it either.
The only one they say is Hyper Beam. Right. They say anytime during the event, so I don't think he's gonna get the other ones.
Which is,
maybe if you charge him, I don't know.
I don't even know how much a Bidoof goes to level 50. If I check it out here right now.
I did see King was looking into getting a hundo for Ultra League.
Well, Barbarrel goes all the way to level 50 at 2061. However, I don't know about Bidoof. I don't think I have a hundo Bidoof. I have a Barbarrel. I don't think
Barbarrel gets too high, sadly.
Yeah, Barbarrel goes to a little over 2,000, and then Bidoof only goes a little over 800. So I don't know. It really depends on how you do things, and maybe the next Little Cup will be interesting. So
definitely, if they give them weird moves like this, oh my gosh.
Yeah, definitely. Now. It's still interesting to say the least that we're going to actually have Bidoof that have different moves, but again, it's not a Pokemon to use for raids. It's not a Pokemon to really use things like that. So who knows? Unless they actually increase the cap on 1,500 for everybody, for all the Pokemons out there. So I don't know. That's gonna be really hard to know. Aside from that, it's just interesting that we're going to be literally having a infestation of Bidoof for the next few days.
It's mind-boggling. But if you're excited for the shiny, you're going to have a really good chance, apparently.
All right, so with that being said, let's move on to the next piece of news that we have here today. And that is that the Professor Willow's TCG card has been now fully implemented. And how to get it...
I wish I could flex it.
Yeah, I know, right? But let's talk about how to get it and how it's gonna work out. So as we know, Professor Willow's TCG debut is going to be, of course, the Professor Research card that everybody of course wants for some reason, or doesn't want, I guess.
I want it.
So on this July, a card featuring Professor Willow will be bought as part of the collaboration between Pokemon Go and the trading card game. The artwork created exclusive for this card has now been released, and now your chance to check it out. Actually, if I put it over here, you can see that this is the card that we got here. Now, what are those numbers, you may ask? Well, we did mention that Professor Willow will actually have a special promotional code that isn't printed in regular TCG cards, but using this code will have you allowed to take part in special research in Pokemon Go, where you'll be able to encounter the mythical Pokemon Melton and their items that can be useful on your journey. I guess that's exciting, but if they give me a shiny one, it will be better.
Yeah. What I think is really interesting about this is I was already going to try to get the card, and they're legit saying you can get the Pokemon Go Fest shirt that I was likely already going to get, and you get this for free. Thank you. I'll take it. Where do I write my check?
I know, right? So, in all sense, the card will only be available in places that you can actually buy the TCG, of course. However, this is only because there's only a few places that you'll be able to buy, which is the US and Canada. There is a website right here that you can go to the Pokemon trading card game, and then you'll be able to get things like that. Right now they have their the newest set, Chilling Rain, just came out yesterday or 2 days ago. But if you scroll down, the new, of course, is offering the special code for this. So from then on, you can actually go to the shop, and let me show you here real quick. Which actually, I might as well talk about this too, because we do have the T-search for GoFest all up and ready to go, which actually Chris is wearing right now for us. I was actually
There's guy is on the way.
Yes, I was supposed to get mine actually yesterday. For some reason, the FedEx guy hasn't found my house for some reason. So, but yes, the T-shirts are not available on their shop. If you go to their website on the Pokemon Center online, you'll be able to get it. But of course, you can only get it through either United States or Canada. So if somebody else in other parts of the world wants to get it, you kind of want to have to have to gift them that or something, so they can send it over there, or you can send it over there for you. So in that case, of course, once you buy the T-shirt or any Pokemon Go related item, you'll be able to unlock I know, right? Awesome, pretty awesome. You'll be able to unlock the card itself. So once you let's say you put this on your cards. Let's just go with extra large here, and then you add it to the cart. You go to your cart.
A lot of people.
Once you actually buy or wanting to buy the item from the Pokemon Go stuff, you'll actually be able to get the Professor Research Willow card promo card for this. Mm-hmm. There is one thing to note though. This card is only available once July hits. So even if you were to put the code in right now, it will not work. The code itself for the card will not work until the specific time, which they did mention that it was going to be on July instead. So let's see here. This July is when you'll be able to take part of the card itself. Don't forget to not show the code to anybody until you actually get to that point. So.
Yo, guys, I love my new card. Wait, why won't it work?
But yeah, so just be careful out there when you get it. If you do want to get it, that's cool. I am actually going to make this announcement now. If you are not able to get the card, I will be posting a giveaway because I got 2 shirts. So that means I got 2 cards for it. And I'm going to be using one of the cards to give away to one of our listeners. More details to come later on in the next few weeks, but that will be something that I'm going to be doing because, I want you guys to get it in that sense, Can you
I already let your letter know there was not a promo card in my delivery. I already let Pokemon know. If I don't get my promo card, I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry, guys.
Paper Girl asks, can you pick up the card at Target? No, you cannot. You can only get the card in the Pokemon Center.
I'm sure more and more people will be selling it, but it's probably already been used, the special research.
Well,
so
you can't.
That in mind.
You can't really use the special research, or you can't even redeem the code for the special research until the actual event starts. So that's going to be when July starts. So they can redeem the code no matter what they do or try to do it. But there is unfortunately already scalpers out there, and they're trying to sell the car for like a bajillion money.
$50 or something?
I saw one that was like $350, and I'm like, nope, no, eBay, you're not gonna get me. You're not gonna get me this time. Not that it got me before, but still, it's just one of those things that I'm like, why do you want to ruin this for everybody? And it literally happened like the day after or something. Like the announcement was live, but that night, for some reason, they're already like selling the car. I'm like, you haven't even got a car in your possession. What makes you think that I'm gonna buy it from you? Oh my God.
Crazy.
All right. Well, that's just another headache in its own, and I already have one already. So let's move on to another more exciting news announcement here. And this one is that Pokemon Go is having a homepage revamp. I guess that's what it's called. If you notice anything, if you actually go to the Pokemon Go official website, their actual website completely has changed to use it a little more friendly, like to the players. Of course, you can download, and whatever the stores you actually get here, you have play where you are, leaderboards, events, updates, support, often redemption, of course. We do have like every piece of the latest news. We do have the upcoming events like the Go Fest event. and other stuff. The website actually looks pretty clean. I hope that this is actually more things to come, because there's a lot of things that we're going to be talking about pretty soon here. And in that sense, there is actually, in that sense, we'll definitely be getting our thoughts about this in just a moment, actually. So one last thing that they actually announced in their revamped website is that, in addition, some trainers around the world will be able to test out the following features. These features will roll out to all trainers later this summer. Number one, a real-time sky mechanic that mimics a player's skylight based on their geometric location. Pretty cool. And then additional Pokédex classifications to keep track of different Pokémon variants and attributes. I don't know much about that one for sure, but that means that, the Pokédex is going to have a small little change when it comes down to it, but I don't know how they're going to do that yet.
All I'm saying is, it sounds like more lag.
I know, right? But yeah, that's going to be interesting when that actually comes out, and we'll definitely keep you guys updated on how their new revamped part of this are. So now let's get into the nitty gritty of what is going on in the community right now in Pokemon Go. And this is actually like all about that brand new update that we had just recently in the game. So the latest update bringing us a new screen saver or whatever it's called when you log into the game, and has been actually hit stores just recently. It's been coming with a lot of bugs, unfortunately. I can pick up some of them, of course. First and foremost, we have the raid bug, which actually doesn't let you skip any of your rewards. Before that, you're able to just tap and skip all the rewards and just go to the encounter real quickly. Now, and this is actually thanks to the trainer club, you have to wait a full 16 seconds or more to actually go through the entire reward screen before you're able to get to even the encounter one. And that's not including the friend bonuses, like whenever you level up with a friend, and then maybe extra rewards or something like that. So it could take up to 20 seconds at best to actually see everything. And then you'll finally be able to encounter if you get a shiny or not, or a hunter or whatever. What the heck? I don't need this. I just want to skip through all that, because all the items that I get, I usually just don't care about anymore. So I don't know why Niantic is letting us having to go through all the animations at this point. That might be a bug.
I mean, the funniest thing about it is it's actually making them miss out on more money. Because people are going to be doing less raids because of that, since they won't be able to use as many passes, since they're losing time that they could be finding another raid to hop in. So you think this is one that they're going to hop on right away to make sure that people can be doing raids, using their passes, using their money.
That's true. They are doing that. Now, there's two bugs in the encounter. That, let's say you encounter a Pokemon, and I'm going to show it right now for you guys if you're here in the live stream. So I click on the Pokemon. It takes probably another second or second and a half to actually get to see the encounter. You see the Pokemon, there's a small little second of a flash white that happens when you encounter the Pokemon. And then, at first I was like, this doesn't seem too bad, but it does make it I'm already used to the auto encounter. So this bug is kind of annoying, because I'm usually trying to quick catch and things like that. But here's the second part to this glitch. If you exit out the encounter, once again, it goes into a flash of white, and then you're able to leave. Now, let's re-counter the Pokemon real quick. You already see the first part of the glitch. Let's say I'm trying to quick catch it. So I had done the quick catch trick, and then I exit out. Again, it takes another extra second with the flash white, the flash in a white, to actually exit the encounter. So it's even slower that way. And I'm just like, why? Why are you doing this?
I like to compare it to a flashbang.
I know, yeah, I know, right? Jeez, I saw that on Twitter today, and I'm like, oh my god. So I don't know. This right now, this is only like the small little things when it comes down to this. Now, there has been a lot of talk in the community where they say both GVL, the game crashes, the game is unresponsive, everything. Like, there's just been a lot of things that people are mentioning. Now, some of those things I want to say that are part of older bugs that we already knew about, they just haven't updated yet. And they're just trying
I
to
think it's
voice
just been snowballing.
right. There's been snowballing on that regard, but because of this latest update, things just been blowing out of proportion because of it. And aside from that, there's still a lot of bugs that the game still need to be fixed. People are actually getting annoying with the game that they're actually putting it down. They're not grinding the game as much as they used to, and that's really bad, Niantic. I want to give this out to Niantic because why are you making this the worse for the players when we already had a good system going, even with the current bugs that we had in the game? What do you think, Chris?
Something interesting too I saw brought up was remember how we had the open letter to Niantic a while ago? And how they said they were gonna update a page of the Go Battle League bugs that they were working on constantly.
Yeah.
They they haven't really been on top of that. I don't harsh them too much for that. I know they got stuff going on. But I would really like to know what they're working on so we know what to expect. But, you know, sometimes it feels like you're asking for too much, but this is a big company. They got a lot of people working on things. I'd like to know, what's happening. What can I look forward to getting fixed in the future instead of just dealing with it day in, day out, every day.
Yeah. Now, if we go to, let's say, Niantic support page, real quick, I just want to really go there and see what we can do. They just recently updated their issues, no issues page. Now we have things there, and this is the last update was on June 14th, so it's been 6 days since the last update. It says right here, some trainers are experiencing significant lag issues. When interacting with the game, experiencing significant delays in response and slow animations. They are investigating this, so there's not even a resolve date of how this game can actually go. It says right here, some trainers can experience significant frame rate issues. Again, it might be because of the encounters, the ratings, and all that stuff. Kind of sucks. The frame rate is dropping, choppy animations and things like that. Additionally, the longer the app is open, the more pronounced this issue may be. We have things like the screen will sometimes lock even if Pokemon Go is open and foregrounded. Some trainers will have their screen lock after a few seconds or minutes of inactivity, even when the game is open and things like that. And again, all this stuff, again, some of things have been, bugs in the game since before the time, but they're the most significant ones, of course, are the lag issues and the frame rates. Now, they're not mentioning anything about the raid encounter things or the raid skipping animation for the rewards. So I'm not entirely sure how that's going to be in that regards. I hope that that's not an included feature in a future update, because I know for a fact, and just because of that Pokemoners and all those stuff, we know for a fact that the gym system or the raid system is going to change in the near future, probably pretty soon, or maybe by GoFest. But again, to be able to skip the rewards is something that grinders need so they can actually do more raids. While people who are casually don't mind this kind of thing because they don't do as many raids as we usually do. So, I don't know. I really think that Niantic needs to up their game and actually fix this unbreakable game for some reason, or broken game, because the community is livid right now, and I don't want to jinx anything, but this could also be somewhat of a downfall for the game and have a lower amount of players play the game pretty soon.
I think it's insane how many of the popular streamers and influencers are saying they're just going to give up on Pokemon Go and move over to Pokemon Unite. I don't know how true that is. I don't know if they're just saying that to try and make Pokemon Go react and fix the problems sooner. But only time will tell. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. So, if you guys are listening to the podcast, if Niantic is listening to this podcast, I do want to make it aware to please look into your issues right now, and please look into your community, because right now we're not happy. We're really not happy with these changes. I don't really mind it as much, but it is kind of making the game a lot more unenjoyable as it used to be. So, I'm still excited about everything else. Don't get me wrong. I'll still play the game no matter what. I just want to get those things fixed, because it's annoying to see after this much of a time when we're already used to how the game works already. So it's kind of one of those things. Again, it's just keep a lookout, Niantic. That's all I'm asking for. All right. So, oh my God, I can't get used to that. But anyways, let's get into our PvP section. Get good, get wrecked. Here we go, Chris.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm going to start with our boy Speedy, because this is him, and I'll end it with the news about the new factions afterwards. But today I had my regionals, and wouldn't you know it, Tampa Bay, there's a little someone that also goes to Tampa Bay for his regionals, and his name is Speediest Chief. Oh my gosh. I'm not surprised to see him doing so well in regionals. I saw him get beat by Twastel earlier in the battles. So I was concerned. But he ended up coming out on top in the end, just from how many battles were won. Because that is one of the determining factors for where you're placed on the bracket, is how many battles were actually won. So yes, it's a best of 3, but if you win 3, it's going to count a lot more for you during the regionals. A huge shout out to Twastel. I'm really hoping I'm saying it right, for getting the second invite. I battled him pretty early on. I think I battled him in the third. Yeah, I battled him in the third round, and he ended up 3-0ing me. It's the only person the whole tournament to 3-0 me. And oh my gosh, he played fantastic. I'm honestly very happy to see them both get to go to Continentals. I'm definitely going to be tuning in, and let's see if Speedy's Chief takes home another Continentals win, and maybe the Worlds. You never know.
Well, what was your placing in the rankings?
Placing? Let me see. 2, 4, 6, 8. I came 10th out of, I think, 25?
That's
26.
Not bad. Top 10? Pretty good.
Yeah, I thought I did all right, but I was stuck at work. I feel like I could have done a tiny bit better. Obviously, I'm not going to tell them that I'm at work, because they don't really want people to, be messing around. They want the battles to be done like that. I mean, this is regionals. This ain't a local tournament or anything.
Right.
These are like the best of the best kind of people.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I felt like I did all right, but I could have done better. I'm very happy with how it turned out, though.
What was your record at the end?
Record 3-2, I guess.
Okay, so you went positive.
The only 2 losses. Yeah, the only 2 losses were to the people that made it to the finals. Doc Phil. Oh wait, no, I beat him. I think Twastel and another gentleman beat me. But yeah, very good battlers. I was very impressed.
Nice.
Other than that, let's talk factions.
Let's talk factions. There you go.
Oh my gosh. I may or may not have made a huge mistake. I may or may not have made a huge mistake in this first faction, and I did not put in my team. I think they need to look over how they do the factions this time, or how they do the points in the future. Because if you do not put in a team, the opposing team that has a team set. So, for example, I didn't put in my 6 Pokemon that I could have used in this bout. So the opposing person that would have fought me got 2 points. In my opinion, the person should probably get 3. Because I think you're actually screwing the other team a little bit more than it sounds like. Yes, they're getting the free, kind of like 2-1. But that's an extra point they could have gotten that other teams are getting a chance to get that they aren't getting a chance to get from the battles. So they're not going to be able to compete with the top of the top if the opposing team does not have all the Pokemon put down, which I think is kind of crazy, in all honesty. But team ended up losing 5-12. Even if I had my team in, I don't know how it would have gone. But we're definitely going to be practicing a lot more in the coming ones. And I don't know. Let's see how we turn this around, honestly.
There you go.
See you later, by the way, was the opposing team.
All right. Not bad. Well, don't make the mistake again, Chris.
Mazer again. No, I told them. I honestly lost track of time. We got out of the season for the last factions, the preseason, and then it was like a day or two later. They're like, "Oh yeah, season 1 just started. Where's your team at?" I was like, "Excuse me? What? Don't we have a little bit of break?"
Yeah, well, it is what it is, brother. It is what it is. All right. Well, congratulations to Speedy Cheats once again. Congratulations, Chris, for top 10, of course. And then, yeah, just keep out lookout for more updates for the factions or whatever it's called. My bad. Anyways, anything else you got to give out there, Chris?
I don't know.
Well,
I guess all I would want to say is for the regional meta of Venture Cup, I think that Gliscor and Drifloon are very underrated. On a lot of top people's teams, I saw those flyers, and I think they break the meta of Deoxys and Lickitung.
Okay.
Very, very well.
All right. Not a problem. Well, that's good to know. Anyways, yeah, just prepare for regionals. It's coming up for a lot of more other players. I'm sure that we'll get continentals pretty soon. Maybe Speedy Cheese will get another back-to-back wins, champions, and all that stuff for the Silt Arena. We never know.
I love you, Speediest Chief.
Definitely. With that being said, I think we do have everything that we need to cover today. One last thing to mention is that Zigzagoon or Galarian Zigzagoon raids are actually back after the event ends. So if you guys want to invite us some, that'd be appreciated because we need more shinies. Definitely. But with that being said, I want to thank everybody, of course, for listening to the podcast as much as possible. Thank you for joining us here on this stream. Make sure you're always checking us out our podcast services. Of course, we are in Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, our Radio, many of those places, of course. If you can leave a review, we would greatly appreciate it. You can always check us out in our social medias, myself and Purified Go, Chris at Pokemon Trigger Please, that's PKMN Trigger Please. And then, of course, you can always email us at thepurifiedpodcast@gmail.com and check us out at the Professor Network, purifiedpodcast.com. With that being said, I do think that we are it for the night, Chris. How about you take us away?
All right. For those of you that had your regionals, even if you don't think you did that well, I would take it as a learning experience. And, look forward to doing it next year. And hopefully the game performs better. Definitely look forward to the Bidoof event coming up. And let us know if you got the greatest Pokemon of all time, a Hundo Bidoof. And yeah,
or a Shundo.
I hope you guys have a fantastic week. Oh, yeah. That is godly. I hope you guys have a fantastic week. And check in with us next week. Peace out.
Definitely. Keep purifying them. We'll see you guys next time.